Good evening, folks. Welcome to this year's 2015-2016 Missouri Teacher of the Year Award Banquet. We're very happy to have you all here. We kick off this great celebration this evening with opening comments from Mr. Charlie Shields. Mr. Shields was a long-serving member of the Missouri House of Representatives, served 8 years in the Missouri Senate, the final 2 years as pro tem, and is currently the president and CEO of Truman Medical Center. He's also our State Board of Education president. Please welcome Mr. Charlie Shields.
Thank you. It is indeed an honor to be with you and to be here this evening to recognize the accomplishments of Missouri's finalists for the 2015-2016 Teacher of the Year. We celebrate tonight outstanding teachers, their students, schools, and districts. Linda, Kim, Melissa, Michael, Amy, and Yulia Sounds are examples of the effective educators we want for all children. If you know why I said sounds, because there's a pronunciation guide in my speech. It says sounds like Julia, so Yulia. So just have to give credit to Sarah, the speechwriter. So we thank you for your great work and inspiration. You know, most believe that a career in education is a calling. We're all better off for those of you that answer that call. We think back to our own lives, we remember teachers who inspired us, challenged us, and encouraged us to reach for our dreams. We owe much of who we are and what we accomplished to great teachers. Andy Rooney once said, most of us end up with no more than 5 or 6 people who remember us. Teachers have thousands of people who remember them for the rest of their lives. I was thinking about that statement, and there were just a group of names that just spilled out of my head of teachers who have made a difference, not just for me, but for my entire family. For me, Mrs. Parker, my 4th grade teacher. I can't do the math, but that was a long time ago. Wally Fike, my high school band teacher at Van Horn High School in Independence. I remember him, he passed my junior year, but before that, he had us all out to his house, the members of his band, to celebrate his life with us. Martha Reynolds, my high school algebra teacher. I always thought she was mean. She was really just inspiring me to be a little bit better at what I do and not take it for granted. My wife Brenda and I, we talk a lot about her high school band teacher, a guy named Don Schaefer at Center High School in Kansas City, and all the meaningfulness he had in her life, but countless others in band. And then for our 2 sons, who are now grown, 24 and 26, I can easily name teachers who have made a difference in their lives. Mrs. Carter, their 4th grade teacher. Mr. House, their 6th grade science teacher that gave them the love in science. And then Ryan Van Dyke, their high school drama teacher, who gave them a love of drama. And you think about that. How many people can identify people that had that kind of impact on their families' lives? It just is truly inspiring. So the finalists tonight, you'll be remembered as finalists for Missouri Teacher of the Year. Make the most of that. Talk to people about your passions, whether it's STEM, students with disabilities, English language learners, visual arts, music education, whatever is passion. Use this as an opportunity to talk about it. Linda, you will always be remembered as Missouri's Teacher of the Year. And I guarantee that students from her classes over the past 30 years, remember Miss Glasgow as they progress through elementary, middle, and high school, and eventually graduate to college, careers, and family. They face each day better prepared because of her influence. Her principal, Kathy Roush, had high praise for Linda in her nomination letter. She said, teachers want the opportunity to work alongside her. Students want the opportunity to learn from her. Parents want the opportunity to have their students learn from her. And students leave her classroom confident, enthusiastic learners. That is about as good as it gets. Linda and the Teacher of the Year finalists have earned the type of respect and praise. They change lives, one student at a time, one day at a time, every single day. They would be quick to tell you they don't do it alone. They do it in collaboration with other amazing educators and supporting building leaders. Together, educators make the world a better place for their students, their colleagues, and their communities. As we continue to show our appreciation to the outstanding teachers we honor tonight, I want you, the teachers, to appreciate yourselves and especially appreciate each other's. We know that teachers typically practice what you do, practice your craft with great humility. They always deflect praise while praising their colleagues, and most of all, while praising their students. And if there's a student that you believe would excel as a teacher, I hope you take an opportunity to encourage that young person to consider a career in education. You know better than anyone the challenges and the rewards that teaching presents. We need to continue Missouri's tradition of strong education and strong teachers. You can help do that by passing on your career to the next generations. So I'm going to go a little off script today and just talk about something we did at the State Board of Education meeting. So we had a public hearing on the Missouri Learning Standards, and this has been a body of work that has taken place over the last year. They first came to us with their initial public hearing in October of last year, and then today was the last public hearing as they presented their work. And I was listening to Missouri educators present these standards and the amount of work that went into them. They were talking about having 15 to 20 meetings over that year, meetings that took place after school, meetings that took place on weekends, meetings that took place in the summer. And I was trying to think of another profession that would give of their time for something they will never get rewarded for, probably get criticized for, but will make a difference for generations to come. That's what it means to be a teacher. That's what it means to be an educator. So thank you for helping Missouri kids dream bigger, learn more, and hope for a brighter future. So I want you to enjoy this evening, have a great dinner, great conversation. It's always fun to watch educators from across the state together on this evening. Enjoy the recognition ceremony that we have in front of you as we recognize the finalists and the Teacher of the Year for 2015-2016.
I now welcome you to the formal portion of tonight's evening, our Teacher of the Year banquet. We'll get down to business here. You know, each year we gather to honor and celebrate our finalists. We celebrate our past Teachers of the Year. We celebrate our present Teacher of the Year. But just to be clear, while we certainly celebrate these individuals, what we truly celebrate is what these folks do. And because of what they do, we celebrate what it is they represent. And even more than that, we celebrate what it is they're going to create in the future of the students that they impact. So I'd like to begin this evening, this formal part of the evening, with a few words about a young girl that we're going to call Savannah. Like all of us, Savannah was born to two adults. But these two particular adults, like too many others, were not ready to be parents. As the difficulty of parenting crashed down on them, one couldn't take it and left. And after that came brothers and sisters and even different dads and all that goes with that. The sharing of rooms and food and attention and being just one in a crowd, trying to find her own way in deciding what's good, what's bad, what matters, and what doesn't. Savannah's not all that hard to picture. She has an innocent, curious look, like many children, with brown hair pulled back in clumsy braids, clothes that didn't fit her right and certainly weren't clean, and big, brown, what you might call searching eyes. So what did Savannah's eyes search for? For friends, for kind or at least polite words, for gentleness, maybe even caring, for food, for safety, for attention. Mostly, though, Savannah's eyes searched for understanding about this life she had. She came to school not knowing how to say who she is or what she needs, but wondering about this place, what it's about, what it's for, and what's going to happen here. You know, this poor girl doesn't realize how already limited her possibilities in life are, how difficult her journey in life is going to be compared to others, simply because of the way it all began. Won't surprise you to know she didn't quite fit in. The other children don't understand her and actually are kind of afraid of her. They probably don't intend to be mean, but they just can't relate to who she is or to what she needs. She is so unlike anything they know. The differences between them and her make them laugh sometimes as they huddle together in the safety of their likeness. And Savannah, she feels the space between her and the others. She feels her own differentness. She doesn't know why she is or why they are, only That's what it is. So in most ways, school is a very hurtful place. For Savannah, it's just day after day reminder of how different she is from all the rest. But then there are the adults. These adults are different than the ones at home. They don't hurt her, and they remember her name, and they really look and they listen in ways that she's never known. They want her to do things that are hard, and she has a hard time understanding, but she'll try because they want her to. How can she know that this can take her from where she is now to somewhere new? Listening to these adults has the possibility to change the path that has already been set for her and to make it something else, something better. It can take her somewhere she doesn't even know exists. So although it's hard for her, Savannah will continue to try because she knows that's what they want her to do. And because she thinks these particular adults might even like her a little bit. And because, most surprising of all, she thinks she might like them too. And maybe even trust them a little bit, at least for now. You know, all of us here who are connected to education in some way react to Savannah in the same way. There's a little tug inside that wants us to step into the game and help out in some way, right? Tonight we celebrate some folks who do this amazingly well. Our finalists and our Teacher of the Year are so good at doing this, connecting with students and taking them to a place they didn't even know exist. So we celebrate who those individuals are, but more importantly, we celebrate what those folks do. On behalf of all of us, these folks represent possibility, not just for a chosen few students, not even for most students, but for every single one of them.